Champions League 22-23 is at its peak right now, as the playoff has just started. During the group stage, many strong teams couldn't make it further, such as Barcelona, Manchester United, and Juventus. But the main favorites of this play are still in business, and considering that, we would like to tell you which teams have the highest chances to win the trophy. Now, here are top 5 favorites of the current Champions League season. Please, don't forget about the likes, comments with 4 words, and subscribe to the channel. Here we go! Number 5. Liverpool. Even though for the last couple of years, Scousers have always been one of the main favorites in the major tournaments they participated in, this season is going to be a little exception. Right now, Liverpool, that once claimed the regular APL championship, is only the middle of the table, occupying the 10th place right next to another team from London that was on a significant decline during this year, Chelsea. It's a very bad result for a team of such caliber. But despite all the challenges and problems, Liverpool is still a rather formidable team, which in case of certain circumstances and proper play can beat any other team from the European top. And Liverpool for sure is going to have a proper play, because Jurgen Klopp is still coaching the Reds, the man that brought his team to numerous trophies and perfectly understands the strong and weak sides of his guys. Moreover, considering the failure at APL, the Scousers can make a big bet on the Champions League. One should also not forget that Liverpool is a team that consists of very strong players, and such guys like Salah, Van Dijk, and Firmino know how to turn up when needed and do everything they can to get the win. Considering all of that, Liverpool takes the 5th place of our Champions League favorites list, and we move to the 4th one. 4th place, Napoli. Before the start of the current season, the Neapolitan team had certain problems related to the lineup. But thanks to a harmonious work of players and the coach Luciano Spalletti, the team from Naples showcased a decent play during the season. Right now, they have the 1st place in the A group with a big breakaway from Inter, and will, with almost 100% certainty, win this current Scudetto. And these guys got to the Champions League round of 16 from the 1st place of their group, and the group was not easy: Liverpool, Rangers, and Ajax. What's interesting is that the Neapolitan blew Liverpool out of the water with a 4-1 score in the first tour.
So I think the problems we had tonight were obvious. So number one, Napoli played a really good game, we played a really bad game.
All of this indicates that Napoli has good chances to demonstrate a high level of play, confidently advancing through the playoff, and perhaps even win the championship, providing that Italian football is still alive and A-Series teams should not be written off. 3rd place, Real Madrid. The current Champions League winner has decent chances to defend their title this year, because Los Merengues are having a good season. Right now, they occupy a solid 2nd place in La Liga, and advance from the 1st place of their Champions League group with no problems, which consisted of such teams as Celtic, Leipzig, and Shakhtar. Real was not in the strongest group, but nonetheless, except for a loss against Leipzig in an even match, they did not make any more misses. The current Royal team is a great mix of experienced footballers who are still recognized as top players, and young and promising athletes who are also very close to achieving universal recognition and evolve incredibly fast. And their whole play will be grounded on the supervision of an experienced coach, Carlo Ancelotti, who definitely knows how to use players of such level to reach the team's goals. If we talk about the tactical play of Merengues in more detail, then we have to mention a strong center, the base of which are such guys as Modric and Kroos. Furthermore, thanks to fast Vinicius and Benzema, who perfectly knows how to spice things up, they can systematically attack and lead an intensive and potentially effective play. On top of that, Real Madrid recently won the Club World Championship. Even though the tournament is not that important, a win is a win, and will for sure impact the players' mentality and desire to continue their successful streak. Based on all the aforementioned things, Real Madrid could be placed higher on our top list, but unfortunately, or luckily, Real goes up against Liverpool, another favorite of this play. And we already figured that despite the Scousers' decline in this season, they are still very dangerous and can outplay almost any team in the world. So Real should not be too arrogant, and if they want to advance further, they have to properly prepare for the guys from Liverpool. We have a great rivalry ahead of us, which we should definitely watch. Thus, we're moving to the 2nd place. 2nd place, FC Bayern, PSG. In 2nd place, we put 2 teams at once, Bayern and PSG. Surely you have a logical question. Why is that? And we will answer you now. Bayern and PSG are two really strong teams that have a huge chance of taking the Champions League trophy. However, there is one big but. These two giants of the football world, by chance, or to be a little more precise, by the will of the draw, turned out to be rivals already in the round of 16. You might again be wondering why we didn't do the same with Real Madrid and Liverpool. And you, dear viewers, will be absolutely right in asking such a question. However, there is an explanation for this. Still, it's not quite the same thing. As we said before, Real could be one line higher, but the only thing holding them back from this is the fact that in the round of 16, they were caught against Liverpool, and not some passing team like Bruges or Eintracht. Please do not be offended, fans of these wonderful but not up to the top level teams. As for PSG and Bayern, the teams are truly equal and have approximately the same chances of advancing further if there are full squads. But it is very difficult to make any predictions because, in addition to the equality of forces of these clubs, very important players will not take part in the first match of the round of 16 stage, both in one and in the other team. At PSG, it's Mbappe, who was injured against Montpellier in Ligue 1, and the participation of world champion Lionel Messi is also in question. And in Bavaria, players such as Sadio Mane and goalkeeper Manuel Neuer, who was out before the end of the season, remain injured. But still, the losses of PSG are more significant and it will be more difficult for them to stay in the game.
I don't see how Bayern don't win this tie, particularly Messi and Mbappe not playing. I don't trust PSG, even with all the players.
But as I said earlier, despite such confident statements by some experts, PSG should not be written off because getting to the next stage is a matter of 2 matches, not 1, which definitely increases the chances for PSG. In addition, probably when this video is released, you will already know the result of the first match of these teams, and based on this, you will be able to independently make a prediction and write in the comments who will still go further. And we smoothly approach the first place. First, Manchester City. And the main favourite for the Champions League 22-23 is the club from England, Manchester City. Manchester City are big favourites to win the Champions League for at least the last couple of seasons, but every time the citizens miss something and stumble. This season was no exception in terms of the fact that the citizens, and this time, are really the main favourites to win. After the end of Sergio Aguero's career, the guys from City, with their amazing game of ball control, lacked a player who can take the initiative in his own hands and significantly aggravate the situation at the opponent's goal, and when it is necessary to close a good pass, of the same Kevin De Bruyne. And Erling Haaland became the kind of savior in this situation, who moved to the club in the summer of 2022 and in just half a season managed to establish himself as a very productive scorer, able to compete at the highest level. It is also worth noting that Manchester City have excellent midfielders who are also good at connecting to attacks. Therefore, these guys can play almost any football, and accordingly, they have the opportunity to find the keys to any team. A nice bonus for them was their opponent in the round of 16 in the form of Leipzig, where they can calmly warm up and get a taste of victories in the playoffs before the upcoming matches with stronger opponents. In connection with all this, the citizens can rightly be called the main favourites of the Champions League this season. Dear friends, as you know, the Champions League is always unpredictable. We can talk for hours about why this team or that team will take one of the main trophies in football this year, but in the end, it may not even pass the round of 16. This is such a crazy sport. But still, we have roughly guessed the favorites in the opinion of our channel, and now we would like to hear who are your favorites in the Champions League. Leave all your thoughts about the Champions League in the comments. Thanks for watching.